Hello and welcome back to episode 11 of MTN's Sunday Roast. This is the second solo Sunday Roast that we've done, and this week is actually just by technical difficulties. We had an episode recorded from earlier in the week that we couldn't upload, so today I'm just coming at you, well, not live, but I'm going to upload this today. And the first solo Sunday roast I did was actually just roasting myself and my inadequacies. You can go back and watch that if you like. I think it was episode 8 or 9. And today I wanted to break down some thoughts and opinions that I have that might be a little bit controversial, or really just my thoughts surrounding a few things. There's 10 different opinions that I have, and I would love to get some feedback from you guys. I'd love to hear what your thoughts are. I'd love to hear if you disagree with me as well, because I think disagreement and being able to actually have disagreements and debates is a massive part of life, to be honest. And to kick that one off, point number one is, guys, if I'm looking down, it's just purely because I've got notes here and there's 10 points, and me trying to remember 10 things is slim to none. So yeah, point number one is Andrew Tate recently been banned from absolutely everything. If you don't know who Andrew Tate is, you have probably been living under a rock. He is, I don't even know how you describe him. He's like a business person, social media star, I suppose. But more recently, he's been banned from everything, not just social media. He's had his bank accounts closed down, he's had his Uber account closed down, his Discord, his WhatsApp, like pretty much anything that he uses was just disabled, which you might actually despise Andrew Tate. I can't say I have an incredibly strong positive or an incredibly strong negative opinion, but regardless of what you think of him, that should be quite a scary thing, to be honest. The fact that the world in general, or the people that maybe run the world, own the world, can just shut down every single thing that you have and own based on the fact that they don't agree with your opinion. Now, that to me is like absolutely terrifying, and that's what leads to us living in quite a tyrannical world. Regardless of your opinion, whether you're a Trump fan, you're a Biden, you like Boris, you like Kate Hopkins, is that her name? Katie Hopkins. Regardless of if you disagree or agree with their opinions, they should still be entitled to their opinion. There's plenty of stuff that I put on Instagram that loads of people disagree with. There's plenty of stuff that other people put on Instagram that I completely disagree with. I think that's a good thing. I'm not one of these people that believes you should unfollow anyone that has an opposite opinion of you. I actually think the opposite. I think you should follow people with opposing opinions of you, and actually listen to what they have to say, because a lot of the time that might be the case of them changing your opinion or you changing their opinion. So I think the whole Andrew Tate thing and the fact that he's been banned, regardless of what you think of him, it's terrifying. Like, it's not a good thing in my opinion at all. Fair enough, a social media platform shutting you down for breach of use or breach of whatever their terms are, but having every single thing in your life just shut down based on the fact that people don't agree with you, I think that's pretty terrifying, in all honesty. Hopefully this doesn't get shut down because I mentioned his name. Number two, my second opinion, drinking coffee and Monster throughout your training session. I don't understand it. I think it's daft. See, unless you're training for 2+ hours, you shouldn't be using caffeine as you're training. Caffeine takes a lot of that time to kick in. It should be something that you're actually using before your workout. If I'm going to train, I'm going to have a coffee, and I'm going to have a can of Monster. I don't take pre-workout, but if I did, I would have that kind of 30 to 45 minutes before I start training, because that is generally when it's going to kick in. Sipping a fizzy drink as you're training, regardless if it's just strength training and it's not jumping about, it's still not going to sit well in your stomach, and you're not really going to get the benefits of that caffeine until maybe later or after you've finished. So yeah, keep that in mind. If you're someone that drinks a can of Monster throughout their session, swap that for water, swap that for diluting juice, swap that for flavoured water. Speaking of which, my mouth is parched. So again, this is my opinion. You might just like it. I don't really mind if you continue to do it. It's not going to affect my life in a highly positive way or a negative way. So continue to do so. Same with all these. I don't expect that I'm going to change your opinion on any of these or all these, but these are just my thoughts. Point number three, surely you've got to agree with me on this one. People that park in disabled car parking spaces, or parent-child that aren't in fact disabled or have a child, what are you doing? It's the height of laziness. And do you know what I actually never find? I never find it's I never see these people climb out their car and they're really overweight, and I'm like, do you know what, maybe they're just lazy. I actually look and I'm like, these are generally people driving nice cars that are in shape, that are just lazy as fuck, and it is infuriating. I cannot stand it. If you're one of these people that parks in disabled spaces, or parent and child without a child, you're a cunt. I'm gonna go with that. I'm gonna use the C word and realise that my YouTube account isn't gonna get monetized anyway. Next one is, don't know if this is an opinion. Yeah, this is an opinion. The fact that everything's closing tomorrow for the Queen's funeral, I find it quite baffling, to be honest. We've had so many businesses shut down over the last 2 years, like lockdowns. You're in a lockdown, you're out of lockdown, you're told when you can work, you're told when you can't work. And they're doing the same again, like all of these businesses. I know it's your choice if you want to shut, but I just find it absolutely wild that small businesses are actually choosing to shut down, to be honest. But again, that's my opinion, because I probably don't have the highest opinion of the monarchy. I can't say I have the lowest opinion of the monarchy. I can't say I really care about the monarchy, other than the fact that Prince Andrew is an absolute beast, and I think that's probably where my arc with this is, that he's an absolute beast. But other than that, again, maybe I'm mentioning Andrew Tate, I'm mentioning Prince Andrew being a beast. Maybe this YouTube video won't stay up for long. Again, these are just my opinions. These are neither right or wrong. In my head, they're obviously all right though. Next one, again, more related to the fitness industry, maybe a little bit of a controversial one. I personally don't understand the use of doing a lingerie fitness shoot as a female personal trainer to promote your business. I kind of don't get it. I think they'll always say, the girls that do this and promote this side of stuff, again, nothing wrong with it, feel free to do it, but I just kind of don't see the benefit of using lingerie photos to promote your fitness business. They'll always say it's empowering and it's showing their strong character, blah blah blah. I think if you want to show that you're empowering, get a photo of you doing a really heavy deadlift, get a photo of you doing something that's physically challenging. Maybe you could say that it's mentally challenging, you having to put on lingerie and take a photo and post it on the internet and maybe get hate from it, but I think there's a lot more other things that you could do that could be empowering. Again, I'm a man, you can take my opinion or leave it on that one, I don't mind. You could say it's the same of guys doing really provocative fitness shoots for business promotion. I think if you're going to do a fitness photo shoot, make it related to fitness. Make sure you're in a gym, make sure you're lifting weights, make sure you're highlighting muscle groups that you're doing. I've never understood girls, and this is one thing, lingerie's, that's another thing I say. I've never understood the girls that do these fitness photo shoots that put on lingerie and then they're doing a lat pull down with high top, they've all got high top trainers on. I don't really get that. I don't understand what they're highlighting. You're never going to train in the gym like that, so I don't get it. In fairness, I've done topless photo shoots. I never train in the gym topless, so I suppose you could spin it that way. Anyway, next point, how many am I on now? 1, 2, 3, 4, that was number 5. We are halfway through this. This one's a little bit more serious, I suppose, and again, this is something that I've had people call me out on this in the past, because they've dealt with mental health issues or they work in the mental health field. This is my opinion. I am entitled to my opinion. I'm going to keep stating that. Regardless of if you've got clinical anxiety or clinical depression, or even if it's not clinical, maybe you've just been told that you have anxiety and been told that you have depression. I think one of the worst things that you can do is actually describe yourself as I am depressed. I have anxiety. I think it's harmful actually using those words towards yourself, because you start to actually categorize yourself and characterize yourself, with those words, and then I think you start owning them. I think people don't realise how strong or how powerful the words that you use to describe yourself can be. So I get sad, I get anxious. I know plenty of people that have depression and have anxiety that get sad and get anxious, but one of the most powerful things I think you can do to combat that is not own those words. Just realise that some days you will be sad and some days you will be anxious, but not that you are sad and that you are a sad person and that you are an anxious person. I think putting in more of an effort to not own these words is quite important, and using different words to or not using words to describe yourself in a negative light, I think it can be quite important. It's something that I've always done. I've had moments in my life where I felt incredibly sad and incredibly anxious. I've never been I am anxiety, I have anxiety. I've just simply realised that I am anxious. It's fine to have moments of that. Again, lots of people have different opinions on this. This is just mine. Next one. There's only 3 reasons that you post on social media. Number 1, status. Number 2 is resources. Number 3, sex. I'm not saying that everyone posts for the exact same reasons, but there's really no other reason that you would be posting on social media. That is really it. The only people that I can see having a 4th option would maybe be if you have 0 followers and you use a social media account to document something. That would maybe be the 4th one. But yeah, that's my opinion. The only reason that you're using social media is to look for more resources. That could be money, it could be something else. To look for more sex, could be another partner, it could be a new partner, and to increase your status. Now, status is one that's probably the reason that most people do it without even noticing. So status isn't just like status to be more financially well off or more popular, but there's like different status, or there's different status hierarchies in different areas of your life. So it might be your status as a mum, it might be your status as a teacher, it might be your status as an educator, it might be your status as a sex symbol, could be any of these things. So status is probably the number one reason that people post on social media. This is my opinion. Maybe you've got another reason why people post on social media, I'd love to know it. Next one. This is, I suppose, diving deep into, not really diving deep, this is, I suppose, going into something that I am doing right now, which is eliminating alcohol. And it's part of a book that I'm reading right now called The Naked Mind. And it states throughout this that we all know alcohol is inherently like really fucking bad for us, but we all do it. I'd like to know why you do it, because I've kind of realised the reasons that I do it, and I've started to read books on this, and I've started to write things down. I've realised why I drink, or why I drank a lot of alcohol in the past. That's not to say I won't do that again, because I'm almost certain that I will. But what are the reasons that you think you drink? Like, we know it's really bad for us. We know that it increases our risk of cancer. We know that it makes us feel shit the next day. What are your reasons for drinking? I would love to know. The next one is both an opinion and a fact, and it's the MTN coaching. This is a shameless plug. In fact, not even, yeah, this is a shameless plug. I truly believe that we offer more accountability and support than any other coaching company out there. Like, I think that is the single thing that sets us apart. Yes, we're relatable. Yes, we have great diet plans and training plans and, you know, check-ins. But I think the thing that sets us apart is actually how much support, accountability we give to every single one of our clients. If you're a client watching this and you don't think that's the case, again, I would love to hear from you, and maybe we can change that. I'm sure there's times where I've taken my foot off the pedal with certain clients, and the coaches have done the same. So if you feel like that's maybe you right now, let us know. But I feel on the vast majority, or with the vast majority of our clients, we give more like accountability and support than absolutely anyone. Number 10. Again, these are really random. These are just like jotting about the place. Number 10 is that I truly believe that you would be much better off in life taking a lower paid job that has set working hours than you would taking a job that is shift work, night shift, or absolutely crazy different shifts every single week for a higher pay amount. Reason being is because your life expectancy when you're doing shift work or night shift, or pilots and flight attendants, I don't know how you do it. I take my David Hatt off to you. What a difficult job. Like, I actually physically don't understand how you do that with time zones, but your life expectancy like drops off dramatically. So if you're watching this and you're a pilot or you're a air hostess, I wouldn't recommend it's something that you do for like a very, very long period of time. Your actual life expectancy drops off a significant amount through shift work, unless you have absolutely nailed your overall routine surrounding sleep and fixing your circadian rhythm, depending on which country you're in, blah blah blah. I know that most people aren't doing that though. So again, that's just my opinion on that. But the fact is, like, you are significantly reducing your life expectancy through doing shift work if it's consistent changing shifts and flying all over the world. It's not good for you. So yeah, that's just a little bit of that's my thought. Just anyone that I know and I'm close to that was doing that, I would say try and get out of that as soon as possible. On the opposite end of that, I know that people in the world need to be doing these shifts, and people in the world need to be flying all over the place. So there is a necessity for that. I would say don't do it for the long term. And I think that's my 10 points. Again, like I said, these were really fucking random. You might be watching this thinking, what is he on about? These have just been jumping all over the place. We went from Andrew Tate to Prince Andrew to we went to shift workers, and we went to caffeine, and we jumped all over the place. But those were just 10 things that are on my mind, or that have been on my mind, or that maybe sometimes are on my mind and sometimes are not on my mind. I've probably talked really fast throughout this as well, but I thought it would just be an interesting take on things for this week's Sunday Roast. We'll be back in the office next week with the full team. I felt like I was rounding off a news reporter. Actually, point 11, I'm adding this here because I don't feel that many people have spoken about this yet. Personal trainers, business coaches, whoever you are, why are you using actual fully blown microphones? I don't get it. There's these clip-in mics that are great. We all use them at MTN. I've seen most other people use them in the past. They sit right here, you talk into it. I actually don't have one with me today, so I can maybe be doing with a microphone. But you look fucking mental. You look mental. I can't understand it. You get these amazing little clip-on mics that you don't need to hold anything for. You look like a news reporter, quite simply. But again, this is my opinion. Maybe you think it looks good. I think it looks weird. And that is us for today. That is all, folks. Thanks for watching or listening.